The name that God reveals himself by is the name that represents his chesed, his loving kindness, and of all the divine names, the divine name Yud He Vav He represents his covenantal loyalty and a desire to have an intimate, active relationship with his people. The God of the universe wants to have a living, interactive, active, intimate relationship in your life. Come on, that is good news. We have to understand who God is. So many times people get stuck in their problems and their pains because they truly don't understand who the Lord wants to be for them, who the Lord is in the midst of it all. And the Lord spoke to Moses saying, I am the Lord. I revealed Va'era, myself to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob by my name El Shaddai, God Almighty. But by my name Yud He Vav He, that Jewish people pronounce Adonai, the Lord, I was not known to them. So God is revealing a name to Moses that is going to be revealed to the children of Israel. So from this point on, the main name that the children of Israel is to know God by is Adonai. Yud He Vav He. Christians usually say Jehovah, but it's Yud He Vav He, Adonai, the 4-letter tetragrammaton. Let me write this out for you in Hebrew so you see it. Yud He Vav He, Adonai. There you go. Yud He Vav He, Adonai. So, Yud He Vav He has a numerical value of 26. 26. And we're going to see why that is important here in a moment. So, Yud He Vav He, the children of Israel were enslaved for hundreds of years. Why does God make himself known by this name at this time? So when God creates the world, he uses 2 names. The first name in creation is Elohim. The second name is, which occurs many verses later, is Yud He Vav He Adonai. Elohim is God in his strict justice. Adonai, or Yud He Vav He, is God in his attributes of loving kindness, of his covenantal love. It's the name of God that is, so Elohim is generally involved, superintending all of creation, but it's the transcendent God. It's the God that is other. It's the God that is hidden in nature. But Yud He Vav He is God who is eminent. He is the God who shows up in our lives. He is the God who shows up in the midst of the burning bush. It is his covenantal name. It demonstrates his covenantal loving kindness. And it seems as if God had forgotten about the children of Israel after hundreds of years in slavery. The Lord had been hidden. He was Elohim. He wasn't clearly seen. Okay. But the name that God reveals himself by is the name that represents his chesed, his loving kindness, and of all the divine names, the divine name Yud He Vav He represents his covenantal loyalty and a desire to have an intimate, active relationship with his people. The God of the universe wants to have a living, interactive, active, intimate relationship in your life. Come on, that is good news. Okay? And God demonstrates this by the grand scope and scale of the miraculous signs that he performs in Egypt. He does these 10 crazy signs and wonders because he does it because the Lord loves us enough to act on a grand scale. He wants the children of Israel to know that he cares about them in crazy ways. God has crazy love for you. Say, God has crazy love for me. So what's amazing is that this is confirmed and underscored by the numerical value of Yud He Vav He, which is 26. It's a very famous psalm. Psalm that's 136. It says, "Give thanks to the Lord, for He is good, for His loving kindness endures forever. Hodu l'Adonai ki tov, ki leolam chaz do." It occurs 26 times in Psalm 136. Why? Because God is demonstrating Himself as Yud He Vav He. Because it says each time God does something on behalf of children of Israel, they say His loving kindness endures forever. God's direct involvement is declaring His loving kindness endures forever. The 26th time that phrase is mentioned, His covenantal love to the children of Israel. But of course, there is more. The numerical value of Yud He Vav He 26 has the same value as the Hebrew word kavod. Can you say kavod, which means glory? Glory, it also means kavod, means great or greatness. It means weighty. So think about the significance of this. By His name, Yud He Vav He 26, He reveals His glory 26 and greatness 26 to Israel through the supernatural signs that He performs. It's also interesting that in English, God has a numerical value of 26. So G is 7, O is 15, D is 4, their number, the place that they are in the alphabet, right? So even in English, 26 reveals God, the number of God. But there is still more. Moses was born 26 generations after Adam. And the Torah was given in the 26th generation from Adam. Okay, the sages tell us 10 generations from Adam to Noah, 10 generations from Noah to Abraham, and 6 generations from Abraham to Moses. So according to the rabbis, 26 generations, okay, God gives the Torah at Mount Sinai. And what's interesting, it says and He doesn't give the Torah until Israel becomes like one man with one heart. How do we get this? The Hebrew grammar, Exodus 19, verse 2, it says they camp twice in Hebrew. The first time it says they camp, the word camped in Hebrew is in the plural. The second time it used the words camp in the very same sentence, just a couple words later, it says camped in the singular. Why do you don't move from a plural camp to a singular camp in the same verse? It's grammatically incorrect. It is a grammatical anomaly. Obviously, there's a subtle message that is being communicated here. What is it? Israel went from being completely disconnected, divided, individual tribes, individual people, plural, to becoming united like one man with one heart in the singular. So again, so that when they went from division to unity. That's what the Hebrew grammar is communicating to us. And this is underscored again by the Hebrew, by the numbers. Yud He Vav He 26. Why is that important? How does it connect to unity? Because 26 can be broken down mathematically as 13 times 2. Why is that important? The numerical value of echad, to be one, is 13, and love equals 13. Oneness and love equals 26. Until Israel became one in love, that's the point. So 26 generations after Adam, Moses, who was born in the 26th generation, okay, Yud He Vav He 26 demonstrated His glory 26 on the same holy ground. Holy ground in Greek equals 26, where He first spoke to Moses, thereby revealing His greatness 26 and His covenantal kindness 26 times of his kindness endures forever. Psalm 136, by giving his Torah in the 26th generation, once Israel had become one in love, 26. So in the 26th generation, the Lord 26 spoke 26, his word 26 at Mount Sinai. Okay? I love the connections, right? It just gives a sense of wonder. Really, I feel the same way, right? So Genesis 1:26. Now, again, there were no chapters and verses in the ancient Hebrew Bible, but Genesis 1:26 is God making man in his image. God said, let us, Elohim said, let us make man in our image after our likeness. Let them rule over the fish of the sky, over the flying creatures of the sky. So the fall caused the image of God in man to be marred, and we lost dominion in part. So how does God choose to make a tikkun, a repair for this? The fall, the marring of the image, when we ate from the tree. It's in the number 26, of course. The Lord 26 sent the word, the Devar 26, who became flesh. Yeshua is the word that becomes flesh to redeem man and to restore the image of God, image of the Lord 26 of Genesis 1:26. Incredibly, there is more. There were 20, according to Matthew chapter 1, there was 26 generations. 26 generations from David, King David, David HaMelech, until Joseph and Miriam. Joseph and Miriam. By the way, her name in Hebrew is not Mary, it is Miriam. Many Hebrew girls were named after Miriam, the sister of Moses. 26 generations from David to Joseph and Miriam, from whom Messiah, Yeshua, was born. So Yeshua was born to the 26th generation. So Moses was born in the 26th generation. Yeshua was born to the 26th generation. Has a sister named Miriam. And Yeshua has a mother named Miriam. Moses had a sister named Miriam. This points to him as the prophet that's greater than Moses.